Our first reading today is usually referred to as St. Paul's arrest and defense. A Roman commander has ordered Paul to stand in front of his accusers in order to figure out some sort of internecine squabble that's taking place between Pharisees and Sadducees. But this morning, let's not get caught in this back and forth and Paul's tactics. Let's look at it this way. What we know for sure is that Paul is enduring circumstances that are completely beyond his control. How often do we feel the same way? How often do we suddenly encounter circumstances that are completely beyond our control? How often do the forces of our lives compel us to endure such circumstances when we don't have the ability to control anything around us? In fact, we might be watching Mass today on TV or tomorrow on YouTube precisely because we're feeling like St. Paul. We've been compelled to do something, rather that something that we'd rather not do. Or we may be in a place where we'd rather not be, or find ourselves in circumstances that we never saw coming. We could be laid up in a hospital. We could be nervous, ready to face a medical procedure. Or maybe we've just heard a diagnosis. We could be reeling from a fractured relationship. Sometimes we feel like St. Paul, compelled just to stand there for all to see and not be able to control any of it. For most of us, that's frightening, and it can make us feel paralyzed. But not for St. Paul. Look at what he does. He enters into a conversation with all of those people around him, and he turns the conversation towards Christ. Eventually, he starts talking to them about the resurrection. And when that conversation is done, what happens? Christ appears to Paul, and his first words to him are, "Take courage. Take courage." Not only that, but Christ thanks Paul for bearing witness to him, and then he says, "We're going to do more, Paul. You're going to go from Jerusalem to Rome, and you're going to do more things there in the future. You're going to bear witness to me in greater ways." This is where we get that courage. From the gospel reading, "I in them and you and me, that they may be brought to perfection as one." It's that little word "in" that gives Paul his courage. That little word "in" that is not spatial, but it is spiritual. Love always seeks more intimacy, and this is precisely what the Lord is doing with Paul. That little word "in," knowing that we are in Christ, who is in the Father, gives us courage. And not only courage to be in the place where we are and handle situations there, but to know that Christ moves alongside us and whispers in our ear, we're going to do even better things in the future. What does our path from Jerusalem to Rome hold for us? How will we be allowed by Christ to break out of our circumstances, our rut, our spinning tires, whether it be in a certain place or in the interior of our heart? We can do great things for him now through his love and into the future.